So let's start, everybody. Welcome to the GTOWizard study stream. We are going to start with something pretty easy to follow and very easy to think along with. This is just preflop ranges. We're going to start building, and then we can check our results with GTOWizard. So this is preflop, under the gun, 60 big blinds. So a fairly standard situation where we just have to decide if you open the hand or not. 60 big blinds. So I'm going to fill this in how I think the opening range looks. You guys can say what you disagree or agree with. I think it's 5s plus. GTOWizard will mix in some things, but whatever. And I think the suited connector is 9-8 suited first as the weakest one. We include all this. We include up to ace-10 offsuit. King-queen offsuit. I think king-jack offsuit might be mixed, I think. So if you never saw GTOWizard, you can pick your play here. 100%, we make it 100% raise, like ace-king here. I missed that one. If you think it's a mixed play, often is a mixed play in GTO, we can just make 50-50 decisions here. King-jack offsuit, I think it might be 50-50. And I even think, and this is very irrelevant, but I even think, no, I don't want to do this. I want to raise 10%, hold 90%. Apparently I'm bad at this. There you go. With queen-jack offsuit. And I never opened queen-jack offsuit under the gun. But I think it meant also 50% call here, of course. We never limp under the gun, chat. Why has nobody called me out on this yet? We never limp under the gun. That was meant to be blue. And then I think ace-deuce suited is a fault. And then I think king-8 suited is an open. And 10-8 suited might be an open. And 5s. This is my answer, chat. What do you guys think? Does this look like a sensible, standard open range under the gun? 8-handed table. 8-handed table. I don't know if I'm always waiting for responses. I don't know how active people will be in chat. If people want to think and play along, that's totally fine. If people don't, then I'll just play along myself, you know. You can just watch as well. You don't have to participate. Let's see if I'm a fish. Well, everybody's a fish in some regard. We are humans, right? We are not robots. Yeah, maybe the lower pairs are open sometimes. Like GTOWizard likes to mix it up, but GTO in general likes to mix it up. But I think this looks good. Let's just move on and go for some tougher spots, maybe, yeah? So we're gonna confirm. Oh. I think, oh. What did I do? What did I do? MTT, chip EV, 60 big blinds, 8-handed. I've never seen this result. That's very weird. Oh, we are playing against the under the gun race, and then we take action. That's this range. Oops. So I clicked it in wrong. Chat. We'll quickly try that again. I think what we looked at was how we respond to under the gun open, which is very interesting. Which is also very interesting to look at, but was not my plan. My plan was this one, so we'll quickly fill it in again. Hey, Moose, it does look like studying. We're starting very easy-ish. Just some open ranges, just some to check if we know how to play, you know? So how do we think it was? This, like this? Oh, you don't have the call, we don't have the call option here, but that looks better. And I think then, what did I say? 10% for queen-jack offsuit? It's not important, but I think I've seen it before. And then 9-8 suited is the worst suited connector, I think. I've been opening too wide under the gun. I've been opening some 8-7 suited, some queen-8 suited, some king-7 suited. We shouldn't. So I think this is better. I'm not so sure about 10-8 suited. So we do 10-8 suited 50-50? I'm gonna go 10-8 suited 50-50. I think it might be an open. Let's check it, chat. Let's see if this works this time. There you go. That looks much better. 97%. So what are our mistakes? Ace-10 offsuit is not always an open. We can mix it. King-Jack is mixed. See, Queen-Jack offsuit, that was very close. Was very close. It's open sometimes. And then the pocket pairs, we open the 4s and 3s and deuces sometimes. I think it's totally fine to just disregard that and just open 5s plus. And yeah, well, I was spot on basically. This is really interesting. 10-8 suited is open more than 9-8 suited. Often you can find a good reason for GTO stuff, but not super sure about this one. It's a little weird. And ace-3 suited is indeed opened and ace-deuce is not. So that's good. That's good. That was the easiest one of the day, probably, chat. That was the easiest one of the day. So let's move on to the cutoff, chat. Let's move on to the cutoff. Same thing. Raise first in. I can't click well, huh? I can't click well. Cutoff. Cutoff. Yeah. So this is, of course, a much wider range. Let's see. Aces. I think we start ace-5 offsuit. Yeah, that's a very good question, Adam the Goat. Welcome to the stream. Oh? Did I close the window? No. We always need to adjust. But I'm going to focus on GTO tonight. Like, we can always try to adjust on the table against our opponents. And we should always do that. But it's hard to give it's hard to give a precise answer there, right? But I think in these spots, these open ranges, I think you'll do fine if you just use them, you know? Even against loser or you know, against fish. There's not you can't do much wrong with just learning GTO open ranges pre-flop and stick to them. Things get very different though, much further in the hand. Like if people 3-bet you from the blinds, for example, in GTO you would continue very wide against that because they're supposed to 3-bet you a lot. But maybe on your stakes, yeah, I played tournaments mostly, but Adam the Goat says 5NL, 2NL. Very low 3-bet ranges probably, right, from them? If at least I hope that's your assumption, and then you can use that assumption to call much tighter against those 3-bets. Maybe they never 3-bet bluff, right? Maybe they never use ace-5 suited, ace-6 suited, 9-jack suited, or whatever suited connectors. Maybe they never use it as bluffs. If that's your assumption, you should defend much tighter against the aggression. We can always talk about adjusting. It's always tough. The cutoff, we are doing the cutoff. I think we open suited 6s yet. Suited 6s, offsuit 9s, I think, is how I remembered that. It's a very interesting way to learn ranges and to remember ranges. So if you remember suited 6s and offsuit 9s, then you already did 90% of the work. And the pairs, you often know what to do anyway. And then we have aces and kings who are always a bit wider, right? I think we can also open some king 8 offsuit. Probably not the weakest offsuit aces, but we can probably. If you think the blinds are super tight or bad, you want to open wider, right? So you should always learn to adjust. Not saying I do that enough in my games, but I know we should. And now the tough question here is which low suited connectors should we open on the cutoff? This is tournaments, by the way. So if you're used to cash games, these ranges will be too wide. Because of tournaments, there's antes in play. So the open ranges will look weird for cash game players. But this is for tournaments. This is an 8-max table. We are opening on the cutoff here. I'm also not sure about the suited kings on the cutoff. Who knows this, chat? I know I'm already close with this range for the cutoff. I'm not so sure about the suited kings. Do we open all the suited kings? Yeah, I think so. And I think it's this. I think it's queen 4 suited, ace deuce, king deuce. Probably not 4-3 suited, maybe 6-4 suited. This is my final answer, I think. Any ideas, chat? Or shall I just put it in and move on to the next? If you're just tuning in, the name is Quest. We are doing some study today using GTOWizard. And we also have song request enabled. Exclamation mark SR in the chat to put your song in. We also might do some other things tonight after the study part of the stream. Okay, we're gonna check this. Why do I have to click twice? 97%. We are legends in opening preflop chat. Okay, we can fold a6 off. Okay, that was a mistake. And we should fold king 8 offsuit. And 6-4 suited. So I was a little too wide here. But I did this kind of perfect. At some point you just know it, you know. At some point you just know it. I kind of did this perfect. So that's pretty good. 37% is the correct range. What I clicked in was 39%. Mostly because of the a6 offsuit and king 8 offsuit. Because those are, of course, a bigger influence on the total percentage as offsuit hands. I don't think it's a mistake to open a6 offsuit though. I think it's totally fine to remember a5 plus and go with that. I totally think that's fine. Offsuit 9s, suited 6s, king deuce suited. Then you know it. Okay, we'll do one more and then we'll move on to other things, okay? Let's do the button as well. Let's do the button for 60 blinds as well. So I know the button is roughly 50% of hands. And I think it's these suited hands. And then, whoops. I think we open all these hands, yeah? I think we're gonna paint this all in. Whee! And then suited 5s. And probably something like this on this side. And then offsuit 8s. And then kings is always a bit wider, like on the suited end, but also on the offsuit end. Yeah, so it depends on stack size, of course, how specifically wide you go. I think 60 blinds, we might go king 5. Might go king 5. And this is my answer, chat. This is my answer. And I'm not doing this in game. I'm still too tight on the button for some reason. I know this range out of my head. I could tell you this if I'm drinking beer, 10 beers deep in a bar. I could tell you it's these suited hands, 10-3 suited, suited 5s. But I looked at my poker tracker and I fold lots of these hands. 9-5 suited, 8-5 suited, 7-5 suited. For some reason I auto-fold them, you know? And I could open them. Same for these suited 10s. I think I fold them a lot. Just by not thinking about it. Just, oh, this looks like trash, let's fold, right? But we can play them. And again, this is GTO. If you know the blinds are very passive and very tight, you might even open wider than this. It looks ridiculous, but you could, you know? You can always take that into consideration. Let's confirm. Oh, I think I clicked wrong again, chat. Jesus. I think I clicked wrong again. What did I do? Oh yeah, this is versus the cutoff. Yeah. I kept erase cutoff open here, so we clicked in a 3-bet range. We're going to look at that as well later. I also know that Yatanta was interested in that spot. Sorry for that. But hey, this is how we learn as well. Yeah, this bar is a little confusing. It's a little small. You know, you can easily look over it. Yo, Freckles. So we go again. We click in the button open range one more time. Button, right? Ace, yeah. I was going to go ace deuce. I was going to ace king 5. Yo, Jamie is my hero. Thank you for the follow. Welcome to my first study stream of the year. It's a little weird to do this. I gotta get used to it again. Suited 5s. And something like this. What did we do last time? All these offsuit 8s? Yeah. Something like this, I think we clicked in. For the button open range, 60 blinds. There we go, this looks better. This looks better. See, I got suited ones correct here. Suited 5s. And I'm missing a couple here. 7-4 suited, partly 8-4 suited. And 5-3 suited isn't open, but 4-3 is not. That's one of those weird gimmicks of GTO, eh? I would open 4-3 suited more often than 5-3 suited. And then on the offsuit side, also had it correct. Oh, and even wider. Queen 7 can add Queen 7. And 8-7 offsuit and 9-7 offsuit. So I missed a couple. You can also click mistake here. Then it will highlight your mistakes. So we were a couple percent too tight. We opened 52%, we can open 55%. No. We learned something. And now we can also apply this in the trainer, for example. We looked at the ranges, we tried to remember them. And now we go to the trainer and we train on the same spot over and over again. I think it's a little bit too easy to go train the button open range though, so we're not going to do that. I think we have some more interesting things to look at, but you could if you wanted to. So there was a spot that I was also interested in myself. And this is versus an open preflop. So let's go make the button. Let's make under the gun open. And we are the button. Let's see how we would do that. And this is not easy because there's lots of mixed strategies in GTO, so I will get that wrong. I will get it wrong. But let's first click in which hands we should continue with, right? And then we'll see which ones of the ones we play we often raise, right? So button versus under the gun. I will make raises later. This is just continue or not. Do we continue every pair? I think on the button we can. I think cutoff and hijack. You might not set mine with the lowest pocket pair, so maybe you are, maybe you can. For 60 blinds we probably can, right? It's pretty deep. If you get a bit shallower, like 30 blinds, you would start folding the lowest pocket pairs. But I assume on the button we can continue with all of them. And then on the suited part, we play every suited ace, I think, even against under the gun. And then I'd say we continue with all these hands and probably these suited connectors. This is almost like this is almost the under the gun open range. But on the button we can go pretty wide, right? We have position, so. And I probably fold ace-10 offsuit in game. Ace-jack I would probably call. King-queen I'd probably play, and I'd fold these offsuit broadways. I think this is the hand. This is the range I would play against under the gun, chat. Does it make sense? We haven't put in any raises yet. So is the question though: are we trying to get GTO perfect answers here, or are we trying to play what is good on our stakes? And that's always a bit dicey what you're trying to do, but I guess we're trying to get the GTO answer correct. So let's put in some raises. I think the middle pairs we almost always raise. And then if they get stronger, we slow play more often. Something like this. I think we 3-bet ace-king all the time. I think we 3-bet ace-queen all the time. Ace-king suited all the time. And then I think we have lots of mixed strategy here. We don't 3-bet a lot though against under the gun. Probably some suited aces here. And yeah, we can mix the suited broadways probably. We can probably 3-bet and call them all, right? I don't think it can be very bad to 3-bet or call with these suited broadways. Let's put in some 3-bets here. I think this is very reasonable. Maybe also ace-jack offsuit. And I wouldn't be surprised if there's some 3-betting from the lowest suited kings as well. As a bluff, complete bluff. Something like this. I'm not sure I do that in game, but I think GTO might like that. So this is my attempt at button versus under the gun. Who wants to give an opinion before we click it in? Good evening, Sir Henny. Thanks for the good luck with studying. And we can't lose any money today. We might play some 2NL later, though. If the mood strikes us, we might play some 2NL later. I think this maybe we call 8 sometimes. I find it hard to do this mixing correctly, but it's not important, right? It's about the broad general strategy. I kind of like this. And against the type player, you can probably fold ace jack offsuit. You can probably fold the burst suited connectors, or whatever, you know, for reverse suited aces. But this is GTO versus GTO Open, you know. Yeah, I don't think anybody wants to argue with my range, which is totally fine. That means we're gonna put it in and see where we need to learn. That's not bad. 87%. It looks pretty close. I mean, I know it's different, but it looks pretty close, right? So we play ace-10 offsuit against under the gun. I would insta-fold that, but we can just call apparently and raise. Yeah, no worries, Henny. I understand. Studying is not something you can do. You either study completely focused, or you're not paying attention at all, right? I totally understand. But yeah, I should call way wider, I guess. So my range, I call 11% of hands. We are supposed to call 18% of hands. Suited 8s and a couple more suited connectors and a couple more suited kings. But it's not way off, you know. It's not way off. I think I can get away with calling a bit tighter. Yeah, it's not that bad. But it's nice to know that suited 8s is in call from the button against under the gun. I was correct with all my low pairs. I was correct with all my suited aces. And I was correct with mixing some Broadway, so I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. Oh, and I'm also surprised by the 3-betting of the pairs. I have them reversed. I was 3-betting the mid pairs all the time. And I was slow playing aces and kings, but I know GTO likes to slow play those. But it's reversed. We always 3-bet aces and kings here. I mean, and we more call often with even jacks calls mostly on the button. Yo, Mr. Carbs. Welcome to my GTOWizard study stream, my friend. We are trying to learn some preflop ranges here. We did some raise first ins, and now we're doing some versus opens. So we looked at under the gun opens, and we are on the button. And we are 87% perfect. And the small summary is, we are nits. We can call wider. Okay, let's move to another spot. Except if anybody wants to ask a question about this or has some feedback about it, always shout in chat. We are on no delay, so exclamation mark GTO in chat to get to GTOWizard and subscribe through my link. To Princess. Okay, so we did button first in the gun. Now let's reset that. How do I reset it? Oh yeah, here. Normally I'm zoomed out a bit more. Than this looks better for the stream though, so it's a bit different for me. Then let's go against cutoff opens and we are the button. It seems like an interesting one, huh? Cutoff opens and we can respond to that. So again, I'm gonna click in all the hands we continue with first, and then we'll decide which ones we 3-bet. So we know what the range looks like against under the gun. Against the cutoff, we're gonna go way wider, right? Probably all Broadways. And I would not call every suited king, but it might be almost all of them. And it might be... We saw suited 8s, right? Against under the gun? Must be suited 7s then. And of course all the pairs. Some suited connected shit. And yeah, these offsuit hands, meh. I would not play these offsuit aces. Maybe some get 3-bet though. Maybe some get 3-bet. Like ace-5 offsuit. I can see that. The cutoff should open 32% of hands. We looked at the range earlier. The cutoff should open 32%. That's a large range. Okay, so now what do we 3-bet? What do we prefer to 3-bet all the time? And I still think I go with my same strategy as was wrong in the gun, but I 3-bet these hands mostly. 8's not as much. Queen's not as much. Something like this. It's a bit random. I know. It's hard to get it perfect. Maybe we call some with jacks sometimes. We got mostly 3-bet it. Deuces never lose the 3-bet. Yeah, this is versus 2-bet, huh? This is versus 2-bet. This is when we can 3-bet. I would not 3-bet deuces. I would not 3-bet deuces. Ace King is very good hand to 3-bet with. And I think Ace Queen often as well. Maybe Ace Queen offsuit. What you often see is that the offsuit hand of the same value gets 3-bet a bit more often, right? Because you don't want to play it basically. The suited version we play a bit more often as a call because we can play postflop better with it. But the Ace Queen might be an exception on that. If that makes sense. So now I'm struggling a bit here, Chad. What do we 3-bet here? We should 3-bet much wider than versus under the gun. So we should include some suited aces. Maybe like this. And we should include some broadways as well. Maybe something like this. And I know this is hard to implement in-game, but... Jack 10 offsuit though, maybe we just fold that? Against the cutoff. Queen 10 offsuit. I'm not really a big fan of flatting with those too much. Same goes for Ace 9 offsuit. Maybe just bluff or fold with those. Kind of like 3-bet bluffing with these hands. This is under the gun versus the cutoff, little Valkyria. Yeah, I'm aware that if you miss like a minute, it can be totally different again. This is cutoff opens and we are the button. So that's why it looks so wide. We already looked at under the gun versus... we already looked at button versus under the gun. And I was too nitty there. I was too nitty. So maybe we also 3-bet with some of these offsuit kings on the bottom end here. To be honest, I would fold Queen 6 suited. I just think GTO might call it. Something like this. And maybe we flicker in some 3-bets with suited connectors. Any ideas, chat? King Queen off, maybe, yeah. I should 3-bet one of these offsuit combos more as well. But I feel like overall I have already so much. Maybe we should 3-bet less with these suited connectors. Suited broadways, I mean. And a bit more with these. We don't really want to play them postflop, right? I'm not so sure. I'm really not sure. But that's a cool thing. We will learn something from this. Because I will click see results soon. And then we'll know the answer. Little Valkyria wants to bet 3-bet 20%. And we can do that. We can do that. Chat interaction, you know. Boom, 20% 3-bet for King Queen offsuit. There you go. Yeah, and you cannot play like this in game because it's very hard to balance all these mixed strategies in game perfectly. Yeah, I know GTO likes to 3-bet suited kings and suited aces, but I'm pretty sure this is wrong. But I don't know what it is. But yeah, you basically just 3-bet bluffing with these, right? And these also. And you 3-betting for value with most of these hands and all these pairs. And yeah, GTO also does that indeed for board coverage, right? So that on low boards, you also will have some good flops. Like that's why we also have some suited connectors in there. Not that many though in my range though. My range mostly calls all these suited connectors. So yeah, I'm deep in the water here. I don't know what the perfect answer is. So we just check. So we check how bad we did. To be honest, if it's broadly okay, I'm already okay with that, you know? If I'm in the right direction, then I'm not too worried about it. This is it, chat. The 87% sounds pretty good, right? Sounds pretty good. So what we can see from this range first is that I'm 3-betting a bit too often with the suited broadways. And GTO likes to call with most of these, never 3-bets them, basically. And then it's mostly 3-betting the lower combos here, which I kind of did, but not as much. And then on the offsuit side, we always put some 3-bets in. Yeah. Well, this is 40% 3-bet. And then ace 8 offsuit is the lowest ace, but hey, I did ace 9. I mean, yeah, I can live with that. And I was afraid jack 10 offsuit. Yeah, I folded it, but we can just call. We can continue. But what's important to take away from this is that my continue range looks pretty good if I would do this, right? Against the GTO player in the cutoff. Because we fold 75%, GTO folds 71%. You know, it's pretty close, right? If I do this in game, it's pretty good. Suited 7s, yeah, it's really good, right? But main takeaway maybe to remember, call with most of the suited connectors and suited broadways. Instead of also mixing in 3-bets. It makes sense as well, right? These hands flop well, they play well. So yeah, I kind of like it. I think we're going to move on to a different part of GTOWizard. We've looked at some range builder. Then we're going to look at the trainer. And later on, I will look at some actual hands I played with you all. So let's go to the trainer. And let's pick a drill. So as we did look at some 3-bet spots, right? So we just try that. We could just button versus raise first in. I made lots of these drills, man. Let's see what this is. We are the button, and our opponent opens between under the gun and the cutoff. We just looked at this, right? So that's useful. Stack size is between 17 and 60 blinds. Chip EV. All right, let's do this. So if I'm not sure, I will ask chat, probably. And I think I'm going to zoom in one more time here. I prepared this. Yeah, this looks better, right? The zoomed in version. We can actually see well what we're doing here. There will be some all-ins and some normal opens. I'm just going to fold ace 5 here for 17. And automatically, yeah, it's all MTTs, little Akiria. I only have the MTT package anyway. When I became an affiliate for them, they asked me cash or MTT, so I can do the MTT. And you can see the stack size on the table every time, and I think it's all the same stack always. Like there's also spots where everybody has different stacks, and that is also very interesting if you're having some ICM study, right? But for this kind of study, everybody has 60 blinds here. I will try to go over the easy ones quicker, because we don't have to discuss them. Queen deuce. So you can also change the drill so that it doesn't ask the easy questions. I can just remove the worst hands, right? We are on a streak. We can do this. Okay, this is interesting. I think we mostly jam here for 20 blinds against the cutoff. I can see some 3-bet calls. But I think if we have a 3-bet range here from the button to 4 or 5 blinds, I'd rather do it with aces and kings and some bluffs and just jam 10s and weaker pairs. But maybe 10s are good enough for it. But I'm leaning towards just all in. Can't be bad. And I'm constantly trying to see if chat wants to interact, but if not, I will just play on. All in, right? 100%, not even mixed. Correct answer. And if we wanted to, we could look into the spot more precisely and see which hands we start to 3-bet small. But we'll just move on for now. You were correct, little Valkyria. Queen 10 offsuit. Button versus hijack. Good evening, Alex. How you doing? Welcome on this sunny day to the stream. 3rd stream in 5 days. Let's go. Let's keep this going. Yeah, so I think it's a call, and GTO is a call, but I'm not sure if I want to call. It's not a great spot. We're also a little shorter than the 60 blinds we looked at, right? I'm not in love with this, but I think GTO would call. And maybe a couple 3-bets, maybe. 24% call. 24%. We play Postflop now, chat. Now it's getting scary. I think this is a very good flop to check back, right? If the hijack doesn't c-bet on this board, that's so good for him. And we have a pair, we have a piece of it, we don't have to bluff it. We have an easy check back here. That's good, 95%. And I think we just check it down. It's hard to get called by worse here. Do we value bet the river here? After he checks 3 times? He could have some king 10 or something that plays like this. I think it's too thin. I think we check. There you go. 100% check. You were wrong, little Valkyria. But I can see it. I can see it. The question also is, of course, against a non-GTO player, most of our opponents, if they call an underpair, you can value bet, right? But I think in this case, yeah, we know. Welcome, Mr. Bullets. Welcome to this Tuesday night study stream. This is a fold. I'm not going to go with the all-in, Alex. I'm sorry. 100% fold, indeed. We got all of them correct so far. 40% 3-bet, right? We looked at this specific spot. 40% 3-bet. Oh, it's lower on this stack size. Wow. It's lower on this stack size. Wow. That's so funny. On 60 big blinds, we 3-betted way more often than on 40 big blinds. We did 3-bet. And we have top pair in position. I think we always c-bet here. Oh, there's no small c-bet here. Wow. Interesting. Can we do a small c-bet? No, I don't think we can. But I would bet, so I'm gonna go large. Oh, that's wrong. What the fuck? So our first mistake, chat. Oh, it's just an interface error. I wanted to bet small. My instinct was to bet small, but I thought there was no button for it. Yo, Craig, see you. Yeah, bet 4.1 is the correct answer. But if I would have seen that, I would have clicked that, honestly. But let's move on. Just because I'm zoomed in so deep in the client. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I think I could have chosen it, but I didn't know how. We'll look at it if it happens again. Thanks for giving the shout out to Craig. See you, Mr. Moose in the house. Easy fold here, of course. This is almost tougher than just playing poker, honestly, in terms of like, I feel like I'm under the radar here. I think we start thinking about ace 10 offsuit. I think ace 5 is a clear fold. Yeah, we can have the GTOs use this discussion every 5 minutes, but we're just studying with GTO today. I've explained already so many times that I know my opponents don't play GTO. I also don't play live, by the way. But I play low stakes online, and I'm aware that I should adjust big time compared to GTO. But I still believe firmly in that learning GTO can help my game a lot. So it's a bit of both worlds, I think. But if you know GTO better, you can adjust better as well, right? This might be close. I think this might be a call. I think I'm gonna call. 77% call. Okay. So how does this work? These buttons are also available, or how does this? Maybe if I If I zoom. Okay, this is how it's supposed to look. Some lag happening there. Kind of adjusting slowly. Damn, I like this zoomed in look so much, but oh, I should not click anymore. Oh yeah, I'm not a live player at all, Craig. I'm also used to the online grind, so. Can you see the black boxes with numbers? Yeah, I see them. I guess that's yeah. I guess we can click on them. I wasn't so sure about it. It's not intuitive because these buttons are like different in size. Yeah, it's not. I don't think I like this interface this way. It's not logical, but I will try to look at them. So we called against the low jack here. I think on this board we want to bet for sure. I'm not going to go all in. I think I want to go a little larger though. This is a pretty dynamic board, right? Our hand is pretty vulnerable. I think we often want to bet bigger here. I'm going to go for a big bet here. Ah, this is how you changed it. Okay, yeah. And then you click bet. I was wrong. We will see when the hand ends what I did wrong. I'm going to check back here, I think. With the pot control. It's a non-GTO spot now anyway. So we made a mistake, so there's no solution for this spot. We blundered the flop, chat. We blundered the flop. It's mostly a check and a very small bet. Okay, I bet large, so that's wrong. Interesting. Welcome, Brazilian Donk. That is kind of interesting to me. That we don't bet large on that dynamic board. I can see everything, Craig, but I've never zoomed in on GTOWizard this big. I know how to use it. I've used it a lot. But I zoomed in for the stream, so it's better viewable for you guys. That's why everything looks a bit different to me. But you mean these dots, or? We continue this. I think we mostly call. All right. Don't think we start bluffing with this. We stack back. Now we turn an ace, which is also a decent card for him. We do want a value bet, I think. Maybe we go small. Yeah, I know, Craig. Thank you. Oh, this is the wrong size. Oh, here, yeah. It automatically goes on, though. I had to be very quick there. I know. Like I said, I've used GTOWizard, but it looks a bit different this zoomed in on my browser. It's almost like the mobile version this way. I'd like to go over that, though, what we just... kind of want to go over that ace-8. So... Oh, the flop we checked. Yeah, that's fine. Oh, shit. I'm clicking wrong, chat. Sorry about that. Ace-8. Replay. Yeah, turn is what I wanted to know. So we check a lot and we bet larger. Wow. I literally went reversed. The other hand, I was betting too large, and now I'm betting too big. The other way around. So when we turn the top pair, when we turn the ace-8, we should check and bet large mixed. This one. And we don't bet small. So that should indicate that we have a more polarized betting range. And I thought we would have had a more capped range, a more merged range. If that makes sense. That was my thinking. I think we mixing some 3-bets here. Alright. We mostly call, apparently. I know it's not a fault. And to this 4-bet, I would lay it down. All right. So, yeah, it's autoplay, so it's hard to click in time to really... Would we have some jams here for 25? Not against under the gun, I think. I think I'd prefer to call mostly here. Top pair on a dynamic board. Who has range advantage? Well, under the gun. But I might have same sets as he has. I 3-bet 8 sometimes. So when they check to me, they have lots of check raises, right? But they might check raise some overpairs, some flush draws. But I still think we should bet because our hand is so vulnerable, you know? No, it's tournaments, Brazilian Donk. It's always tournaments for me, mate. I always play tournaments. So I always study tournaments too. Craig says small. To be fair, with the stack sizes, I can agree. If we were deeper, I guess I'd like a bigger bet. Again, for the same reason that the board is so dynamic and there's so many turns that are, you know, changing the winning hand. So I'd lean towards a little bit of a bigger bet. But we've seen lots of small bets against the under the gun, against the preflop raiser who checks. Small to induce check raise, yeah. And he has lots of check raises here, and then we would get it in with this stack size, you know. I can get that. Let's go 3.7. It's probably smaller and better. Smaller and bigger is probably better. Just small, okay. We almost never check. It's mostly bet small, 20%. Alright. 20%, man. I almost never bet 20%. I should learn to bet that small. Mostly my smaller bet is like 33. Yo, Kiribas. Hey, welcome in, everybody. So many people watching the study stream. So cool. So we're using the GTOWizard trainer over here. We are playing the button versus any open spot. Yeah, I'm not sure I want to go into study for every hand, correct? But thank you for the feedback. We can do that, but aces chat. Let's play. Let's play. Oh, we have to play the call button. I played aces correctly. We already 3-bet here with ace queen and the gun jams. Our potholes are 35%. Yeah, I think it's close. I mean, GTO probably calls, but I think in game I fold this a lot. Like if I look at my opponents, my $10 opponents, I think I'd fold this. Yeah, Craig agrees with me. Yeah, we're also trying to adjust here, but I think GTO should. I think GTO calls. Yeah, 100% even. But I think in game people just have the nuts too much. Yeah. This is funny because I think it's a call, but I'm trying to call less on the button myself because I'm probably not doing it too much. But this is a call. It is. And the fun thing is we have some Postflop studying here as well as a bonus. And again, they check to us. I think I lean towards checking back here with just a 5. There's a lot of nice turns for us. We can get for free, you know. And we don't want to get check raised with this hand either, because that sucks. But they can check a lot here. It's GTO approved, 40%. Does he have some traps here? But GTO always has some traps, I guess. I think I check again. You don't want to build a big pot with this hand here. 5% check, holy shit. So that means the spade and the low card is good for us. We're gonna go look at that. We're gonna go look at that turn spot in a second. But we first have to decide if we call this 2 blinds on the river. 18% pot odds. We're getting 5-1. Yeah, I think GTO have to call here. This is again a spot where I'd probably fold on the river against population mostly. See, yeah, GTO mostly calls. So Where was the spot where we went wrong? The turn, right? Yeah. So I checked, but we should bet. We should bet small. So let's follow Questje's advice and click the study spot. Yo, je tante. Now we can dive into it a little bit more, and we can see. This is the turn, yeah. So let's see the ranges. Yeah, this is. I'm used to a different. I'm used to a different layout. Zoomed in, it's a bit chaotic for me. But we can see that. What can we see here? What was my mistake? I don't remember what my mistake was. Where's the board? This zoomed in version is not great. So I can zoom out. And this is already a bit better. This is what you want to see. This is what I want to see. Because then you can see the equities. And you can see who has range advantage and who has nut advantage. And it's the button in this case. And it's on the Jack 5-3. And then, yeah, the deuce of spades on the turn. So I checked back as the button. But it's a very good card for us. And I didn't realize that. So that's what we learn here. That if the flush completes with a low card, apparently it's very good for the button. We have more best and good hands. We have an equity advantage. We can also look at the actual hands. Like flushes. We have more flushes. And that's probably because the low jack c-bets lots of his flush draws. So that's, I don't know. Maybe that could be a reason. It's hard to analyze GTO, chat. It's hard to analyze it. But I can see that. So let's go back to the trainer. This was the spot where I thought we just got a pot control and go to showdown value with my 5. So that's why I checked. That's what the green box means. But GTO wants to bet a lot here. Not big, but a lot. So that's interesting. We need some protection though, you know. There's lots of bad rivers for this hand. You know, every overcard, every spade. With this specific hand, we need some protection. But interesting. Let's do a couple more. Let's do a couple more of this spot, and then we'll do a quick marble race. And then after the break, we'll do a bit more. Ace King gets 3-bet. Oh yeah, so now I'm not zoomed in anymore. 6 beers. There you go. I think you guys can see it much better this way, right? Ace King, the hijack calls my 3-bet. I think we bet small. I can see quarter pot too. I'll take it. We get raised. I'd probably just go all in. We could offer to call. I call the turns. Make him bluff some missed. Keep him bluffing, maybe. What's the pot size if we call? Yeah, this is one SPR left. We can see a call, but I can see jamming being fine as well. I'm gonna be yelling. It's mostly call probably then. Still decent enough, but yeah, we mostly raise small. Wow. Was there room to raise small? I would never raise small here, chat. If I have 43 blinds behind, somebody raises me to 12. I would almost never make it like 25 or 30. That seems a bit weird to me. GTO does it sometimes. Raise 25. So that's interesting. But jamming or calling is not a mistake anyway, so it's fine. Yeah, everybody that comes in wants to discuss if GTO is useful or not. In free rolls, we made a blunder here. I think if you learn GTO, your fundamentals get better. So it cannot hurt your free roll game. Yeah, we should have just jammed the Ace King. We had 25 blinds and I 3-bet small, but apparently we don't have 3-bet smalls there. We don't have small 3-bets. Should have just jammed. A7 offsuit versus under the gun. Fold. Yeah, your game will improve whatever you play. Is my strict belief. But you should always keep in mind that your opponents are not GTO bots, and you need to always adjust. But I think I'd like to jam this. Maybe call with some king queen suited. I think we jam. Nice. 20 blinds versus the cutoff. We do jam. That's different subscriptions. Little Valkyria. You get 10% off using my affiliate link. I can show you. I can show you the subscriptions, and I don't know prices out of my head. So let's quickly go over that anyway. And there's a marble race soon, chat. Get yourselves in there. Exclamation mark play. A little bit of a break coming up anyway. Can I see what it costs here? So yeah, I have the MTT Premium. Here we can see. So maybe you want MTT. Starter is $35 a month. Premium is $62 a month. You can also start using it for free first. You can also look at Preflop ranges for free. And on the website you can see all the differences of all the packages. I'm not going to go over that in detail, but MTT between $35 and $62. And for cash, it's probably the same. I'd assume it's the same-ish. Yeah, cash is also $35, $62. Hey, Kulse Young. Okay, last happy for break. And after the break, we'll probably do a different spot. Maybe we'll do a spot versus 3-bets. I know that Tante likes that. So instead of we getting the chance to 3-bet ourselves, we'll play versus 3-bets after the break. Let's do an interesting hand and then we'll go on break. This was not an interesting hand. This might be interesting. Oh, they limp. I'm so bad versus limps, chat. And GTO limps are very different limps than the limps for my opponents in my games, right? In my $8 average buying games, this limp will be super weak. And we target it aggressively. In GTO, this is a bit stronger to limp. They would have some traps, you know. I mean, I think I like a jam too. It's nice to pick up 3.5 blinds, but I think against the weak limp, this is even a better jam than versus GTO. Like versus GTO, you might be a bit more careful here. That being said, I like the jam. It's wrong. We shoot limp along or raise small. That is interesting to me. Does that mean if we raise to 3 blinds and they jam, we can still fold? We can look that up. So if we do raise small, let's say we raise small. There we go. And then the limper jams. Was it the button? No, we were the button. Yeah, and then the hijack was it. Oh, the hijack jams. Then what do we call with? Oh wow, huh? Why is this so low in? We do call ace-10. Oh, ace-10 suited we had, yeah. Okay, we call. Okay. Yeah, I also thought like we cannot 3-bet fold ace-10 suited. That's insane. So if we raise, we also call the jam with ace-8 suited or better, and all the pocket pairs. That's basically the whole range. Pocket pairs and our suited aces until ace-8. Okay. And the rest we all fold. Yeah, that's okay, Tante. We'll have a small break anyway, and then we'll do your versus 3-bet spot. So let's pick a different training spot. There you go. Yeah, I don't care about the game in progress. I think we'll just make a new drill, so you can also see how that works. So preflop. I think we'll keep it chippy V. We could look at some ICM, but let's make it chippy V. And then we want to open the pot and versus 3-bet. Out of position, right? Did you want to say that? So we basically want to get 3-bets by the button, for example, yeah. We could do this. We could do VR button. And they... Wait, no, this is reversed. Wait, maybe just do any. we can look at any spot. We can also click out of position here. I think we'll do any position. I think we'll do any. Keep ourselves on toe. Keep ourselves fresh. Okay. Versus 3-bets. Can start it from there. But we can start it from here. While we load that up, let me load up a marble race for the next brick. Let's do a random community shenanigans. Chuffed Alien District. There you go. Yeah, I made lots of drills as well. We can, but I almost always make a new one. I guess I should make better drills and better names for it. Oh, do I go back to the previous game now, or? No, this is versus 3-bet. This is the new drill we wanted. All right. So we gotta. There's a lot of viewers now here. There's almost 30 viewers here. I'm gonna also ask you guys if I'm not sure what you guys think what we should do. These spots are always we have opened, somebody 3-bets us. I think this is a pretty easy one. I think we just call here for 15 blinds more. I can see the button jam ace 10. I can see the button jam wide enough, so it's a pretty easy call. There we go. Good start. Good start. We open. Oh, this is interesting. What do you guys think here, chat? We open under the gun, so it's a bit of a tighter range. The big blind jams on us for 20. They're not gonna jam super wide against under the gun. They might jam like 8s plus, ace queen suited, ace queen offsuit maybe. But we are flipping against lots of his pairs. We are live against ace queen and that type of hand. We're sometimes dominated. Do we have 42% equity? I think we fold. I think we don't have 43% equity against the button jam range. Anybody think differently? Should we call the king jack suited? In general, against the GTO opponent? In game, we probably call even tighter. So in game against a regular $8 player in the bar lines here, I don't see him going too wide from a big blind, so I'll probably fold this anyway. But I can see it being closer versus GTO. Yeah, I think it's a fold. Oh, it's a call. I contemplated it. Let's check how wide we go then. Let's go to the study this spot. I can't go to the new top lot. We can't go to a new top lot. So it is the worst hand we call, basically. And we fold some king queen suited. That's interesting, chat. That's pretty interesting, right? In game, I would probably fold it, and I said it's probably closer in GTO. King jack suited was a call. So let's look at the big blind jamming range. This is the big blind's jamming range in GTO land for 20 blinds against under the gun. 7s plus, ace 5, ace 4 suited, 5s, and a random king 10 suited in there. And a bit of ace queen, of course, and ace king. Interesting. So against that range, we have just about enough equity to call with king jack suited, but not to call always with king queen suited. This is all very detailed, right? We don't have to be that perfect in game, but it's interesting to look at that king queen is sometimes a fold. That's interesting, right? Let's keep on playing. It's finally a bit windy outside. So here the question is, do we sometimes slow play aces against the small blind 3-bet? Or do we always jam? We are in position here, so I can see it being a call sometimes. Wow. 100% call, chat. GTO slow plays 100% there with aces. Versus the small 3-bet from the small blind. Now we have a post-flop spot. This is decent for us. We are not too afraid of spades. We don't have to really protect our hand. We want them to keep bluffing. I guess we call and just get it in on the turn here. Call 100%. And now they check to us on the turn. We played perfectly so far by calling pre and calling on the flop. Don't really want to check. I don't really want to check back, right? The question is though, do we bet small or do we jam? I think we can bet small here. I think he might have a pocket pair, he might have a 7, he might have a random bluff. And we're not afraid of the flush draws, right? We are less afraid of the flush draws because of our suits. Okay, that's the wrong sizing. If we do get it in, I'm not gonna fold, of course. So let's see at the turn, what is the sizing? Oh, we should check, okay. We should continue the slow play. So we called pre with aces, we called flop with aces. This is GTO, this is not random trapping against a random opponent, this is GTO. But we should also check back the turn. Interesting, chat. Interesting. Well, no mercy. We're playing the best poker is also having no mercy. The big blind 3-bets to 14 blinds, interesting size. Of course we fold check that offsuit. Usually against 3-bets, you fold your offsuit broadways, you know. Usually. Don't want to play them. It's a sun screen sun. The sun screen sun. I think the same applies here, although it's a little closer. But I would fold queen jack here too. Oh, it's 50%, wow. 50% call. Queen jack offsuit versus a 3-bet from the big blind. We mix calling and folding. And again, I'm sorry to keep saying this, but we can adjust against our opponents and always fold it. If we think they don't 3-bet enough. Yo, AMTT. Welcome to my rare poker study stream. We are using GTOWizard to go through some spots here. Some versus 3-bet spots. Easy fold, of course, here with 10-7 against the big blind jam. Ace queen is often a call, and for 17 blinds in total, I think we never get away. Looked at a spot earlier that was a little deeper. We also had to call 100%. Queen 6 in the muck. Ace king is often not a hand we want to slow play, we just want to jam. So far, so good. It will only make you feel ugly. Open under the gun, the low jack, small bets, we are all in. 98% of the time, that's enough for me. That's enough for me. The low jack 3-bets us. This is very likely a call. Suited Broadway has good playability. I can see some 4-bet bluffs. Maybe it's like a 10% 4-bet bluff. We flop top pair and the diamonds. Check to the razor, I'm polite. The question here is, do we check call or check raise this top pair? So I think in general, you want to check raise balanced with some bluffs and some good hands. Often, what I remembered is that top pair, decent kicker is a check raise. But we also call with some top pairs, but usually the lower kickers, if I remember correctly. So I think I'd like to check raise this one. We also have lots of diamonds that are good for us on the turn. Out of position, you want to always check raise a bit larger in general. But I think 18 might be best. Let me see if chat has an opinion about this. This is one of the toughest spots we have gotten so far. We call it 3-bet with king 10 suited. We flop top pair. Decent hand. Do we call here? Or do we check raise here? It's probably mixed, but I want to know what we do most. Hey, Tante, welcome back. We are playing versus 3-bets, Tante. And this specific hand, we did get 3-bet by the low jack. And we called. And now we have this flop with 10 high. And the question is, do we call or raise? Because we never fold. And I think it's often the case that with an ace or king kicker, we often check raise. But Moose and Tante want to call. And you guys could be right. It's also a very safe board, right? With a diamond, we're happy. With a queen or jack, we make a straight draw. With a 10, we're happy. With a king, we're happy. So, like an ace of spades would be a bad card, but there's not that many bad cards for us here. So maybe that can also influence the fact we might more often call here. I'm going to go with you guys. I'm going to call. 86% was the good answer. Was the good answer. We turned that queen of diamonds. We have lots of equity here. We have lots of equity here. I think we just check to the razor first. Interesting. Well, we never donk the flop. We do lead the turn sometimes, Tante. GTO actually leads some turns there. I wasn't planning it here, but we do lead some turns sometimes. But it's also rare, don't get me wrong, but it's not so rare as donking the flop. This is a decent turn, it gives us lots of equity. We block king jack. But I'm not sure what jamming really accomplishes. Like, do we get better hands to fold? Ace 10 is like a candidate for that. I don't think so. We do get called by worse. But also not super clear. Not super clear. Yeah, so I think I'd like to jam here if we have the draw, right? If we don't have the 10 with it. Because this is a strong draw. We have a good shot, we have a flush draw, we have an overcard. But because we already have a pair, I think I lean towards calling here because of what I said. Like if we go all in, what weaker hands are calling. And if we bluff all in, you know, yeah. I explained it better the first time. Yeah, what better hands are folding is the better question. What better hands are folding? I think we call. Okay, 97%. That's a bad river. That's a very bad river. Because he has more aces in general, but in this case, might not be too bad, but he has some 2 pairs, right? Ace queen gets there now, ace 10 gets there now. Ace 9, he has all those ace x. We check again, of course. This is annoying. I think we fold. I think this is such an annoying spot. We do block king jack for the straight, but we also block flush draws. So yeah, I think with third pair here, it's just a bad river. There's so many good rivers for us. Diamonds, kings, tens, jacks. We can call basically 90% of the rivers. I think this is just one of the rivers we cannot call. Yeah, we also block diamond bluffs. So I agree, Tant. That's correct. Let's go. We are GTO bots. Next hand. We open the low jack. The cutoff jams 25 blinds. This is one of those spots where I think I might find a fold in game. Because people, yeah, just don't make too loose of a jam here. But I also think GTO calls here. I think it's ace jack suited and ace queen offsuit. I think ace jack offsuit folds. Shall we check that, chat? Shall we check if that range that I said made sense? And nice one, je tante. Yeah, ace jack offsuit folds, that's what I said. And ace queen offsuit calls. Nice. Let's go. We are crushing. I want to learn something too, though. No, last hour we learned some stuff. Kings, I think I call. Yeah, kings I call, chat. This is interesting. Ace jack offsuit. So if he jams for 20, this is a little bit different though. This is under the gun, so we are a little tighter. If he would have jammed, this is probably a fold. We're getting a little bit better of a price, but how often is the flop good for us, right? I think I'd fold, yeah. But I do what yeah, maybe GTO calls. I'm not jamming here ever, Moose. I'm not jamming here ever. I mean, do we ever get a fold from the hijack? If we think GTO has folds here, this might be a jam. But I'd rather jam with ace-5 or something then. Yeah, it's a close one. We are nits. Well, we should be nitty against population because they 3-bet not enough. And especially if they 3-bet like this, it's nutted like hell. If your opponents make it 5 blinds out of 17, that is the nuts in 10 ABI MTT land. So in game I'd fold this. The only question is, do we call in GTO land? That's the question here. And I think we might have to. Because the pot odds are 4-1. We need 23% equity. That's just so strong. That's just mathematically. Well, we are also under the gun. This is our worst ace. This is our worst offsuit ace under the gun. So yeah, let's fold. Okay, it's 80% fold, 16% call, and 5% all in. We were all winners. We are all winners. But it's important to remember that fold is the best play. But there are some calls and some all-ins in there too. Would ace for suited 3-bet 17 blinds? No. Ace for suited would go all in here. I think it's not a hand you want to 3-bet small. I think it's too strong for that, I think. 3-bet small might be like king 6 suited or something. But we're going to look it up. Maybe you're right. We're going to look it up, Jitant. No, that's impossible, Jitant, because GTO is always balanced. So they need some small bluffs, but it's only a small portion. But we'll see what it is. Here it is. Wow. I forgot what were we doing here? So it almost never does it. It's these small pieces of red. Low. He never does ace-5, ace-4 here from this stack size. We're too shallow to do that. But I guess these are his bluffs then, right? The smattering of ace-jack offsuit and the smatterings of ace-10 and king-10 and ace-9 are the 3-bet folds for them. And everything else is a 3-bet call with the nuts. Interesting. All right, let's continue. 8-7 suited. I mean, not super deep, but I still think against a small sizing. I think we call here. Not super in love with it. But we're getting a decent price. If it was a bigger 3-bet, I might fold. Okay, nice. Check to the razor. Small c-bet. 4 blinds into 16. Quarter pot. We're getting more than 5-1. We have a good shot and a runner flush draw, so we cannot fold. GTO will never fold here. Because a good shot and a runner flush draw is too good. The only question is, do we turn it into a bluff? Or do we just try to realize our equity by calling the flop? That's the only question here. We cannot raise small either with this stack. I think so the question is call or all in. I'm not really in love with all in. I'm not really in love with all in. If I was a little deeper, I would raise small here. Or try to have some raises here. Like make it 12 or 11 blinds. But with this stack we cannot do that. So it's call or all in. GTO raise, in-game call. We're going for the GTO puzzle here. We're going for the GTO. Yeah, on the Jack 10 deuce board, the button is just never folding his overpairs, never folding his ace 10, ace jack, never folding his king queen, king jack, king 10. There's just so many broadways and overpairs, so I think we don't have enough fold equity. So I'm gonna go call. 100%. Sometimes you know what we're doing. The ace is very bad for us. And I think this is a spot, Tante, where we have some lead on the turn. Not on the ace of diamonds, but maybe on the 6 of hearts. You know what I mean? Or the 9 of hearts. The 9 of hearts is of course our value card then. But if we turn a bluff, if we turn a better draw like a 5 of hearts, we might just jam. There are some spots where you actually lead the turn into the preflop aggressor. But this is not one of them. They check back on the ace. Mandatory all-in bluff, right? What do you guys think, chat? In GTO, mandatory all-in bluff, right? For 1 SPR. We have 8 high, we cannot win a showdown. We need some bluffs. He checks back on the ace. It could be a pot control situation where he insta-calls the river with his ace queen or something. But I think it's a lot of jack x and 10x if he checks back the ace, right? And some missed flush draws as well. And he's gonna have some nuts. He's gonna have some traps. It's GTO. He's gonna have some aces and king queen here that is gonna insta call my bluff. Look at me talking about insta calling. It's GTO. It's not. There's no timing tells here, but but yeah, I'm all in here, chat. With 8 high. We have sort of the right blockers. Like we don't have spades, which is good. We don't want to have spades, so that's good. We don't block any straights though, so it might have been better with like king 8 of hearts or something. But we don't have king 8 of hearts in this spot anyway, so I'm all in. Yeah, no, 10%. I thought it was 100%. Oh no, we give up 90% of the time here. But at least I like my thinking, and at least it's sometimes okay. 10% of the time it's okay. Interesting. He had the ace 9 for the pot control top pair. Yeah, so what can we learn from this, chat? Is just the ace too good for the button's range that we are not allowed to bluff on the river? Because they check back with top pair sometimes, like you did in this case? Again, population probably doesn't do that, right? This is something I say on stream a lot too. Population doesn't protect their check back range enough. Which is exactly what GTO is doing here. The button is exactly doing that here. Protecting his check back range. And that's why I was tempted to bluff all in on the river. It's almost a trap. It's almost a trap. It means the button re-raises wider. In what spot? Because we just had an all-in on the turn on the river. Hey, this is Pie Face Poker's tune. We all miss Pieface Poker, right? I'm gonna give Pieface a shout out, chat. As a way to lure him back into streaming. This is his tune. I want you to know. Ooh. You can suggest a situation, Brazilian Donk, yes, but I cannot import hands instantly, no. But there's more people that are interested in that. So I might make a stream. I might make a channel on Discord, not the current hand history discussion channel, but a different one for GTO submissions, where people can put in hands they want to see on stream, the next study stream. But I cannot do this on the fly. No, Brazilian Donk. I will not do this on the fly. Partly because it takes some time to manage the files, and partly because GTOWizard takes some time to import the hands. So we'd have to wait for that anyway. So, but next study stream, I'll put in your hands and your tante's hands. For now, we move on. We had to reminisce Pieface for a little bit there. But we can switch up to one more situation maybe after we had enough of this tree betting stuff. Let me know what kind of situation you'd like to see. Okay, under the gun, ace queen versus a small blind 3-bet. Kind of interesting, kind of interesting. I think we jam. We just saw the range from the GTO 3-bet in the hijack, was it, or low jack? It almost never does it, like the small 3-bet. But I think it's an all-in here. You don't folds against population. Oh, hands are imported very quickly, but in worst case scenario, you might have to wait an hour or so. I usually import lots of hands at the same time, though. I usually upload like a week of action, and then it takes a couple hours to import them all. Because it goes in the cloud and it goes in the queue. You know, it's all on the server, not on your computer, right? That makes sense, except for a website that you're not hosting yourself. But yeah, and it's $35 for the default one, and like $68 for the premium one. I showed the subscriptions earlier. You're gonna check out the website. Please use my link though if you are gonna purchase, because I get commission for that, and you get a discount for it. So bonus for everybody. Welcome back, Mojo. Yeah, I've been streaming a lot since my comeback. Friday, Sunday, and now Tuesday, and I'm planning to stream tomorrow on Cake as well. So what do we think, chat? I think it's all in. 93%. Okay, nice. This is the Pieface sub-song. We literally just talked about that, Ivid. I even gave Pieface a shout-out. We all miss him. Pocket 5s here versus a button 3-bet. Yeah, no grind today, Ivid. No grind today, but I appreciate the default good luck you're giving me. I think we call. It's not a great set mining situation because we're out of position and a little bit short. So we might fold deuces and threes. I think start calling 5s. I think I call. Yeah, it's not that deep. So I'm pretty sure we don't set mine every pair here. But I think 5s might be good enough. Might also be a fold. We don't jam this. You don't see that a lot, the jam with the low pairs as a bluff, semi-bluff. We don't see that a lot for this stack size. 73% call. We play the flop before we see the actual. We gotta just check fold this. Yep, we'll look at preflop for a second. Oh, we go all in sometimes for 35. IBD was a little bit more right than I thought. We do go all in. I thought it was like below 30 blinds only, like the small pairs there. But it's also for 35, 27% of the time. But my call was also fine. More than fine. What happens to Pi? Well, he just took a break. I think he's fine. I don't think anything horrible happened, but he's not with stars anymore. and he took a bit of a streaming break. And I think he said he's gonna come back. So we're all waiting for that, right? We're all waiting for Pi to come back. 30 blind jam. We got a fold ace 5 offsuit. This is pretty clear. We start calling ace jack offsuit probably. Maybe ace 10 against big blind. Yeah, maybe Mocho. Maybe I should start jamming some pocket pairs there because I don't think I have that in my arsenal. I do have that in my arsenal in the blinds versus the button and stuff, but this was more under the gun hijack white stuff. Still believe. He had ace 9. We folded ace 5. Good stuff. I think we always jam this one. Sevens, yeah. Pretty clear jam, right? We can't set mine, obviously. Folding seems ridiculous, so... Oh, what the fuck? What the fuck? We fold 80% of the time? And we call 20%? This is very surprising to me. This is surprising to me. Oh, I looked at it wrong, chat. No. This is a bad excuse, but I thought it was button big blind. So yeah, if I would have looked correctly at the spot, this is a bad excuse story. But I now see it under the gun low jack, so this is way tighter. Yeah, this would have been close. Yeah. I understand. Yo, Messenger, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. Yeah, you already saw that GTO fault, said Ivan Beer. I just explained that I thought it was button big blind. Let's move on. This is button big blind. Ace king is a call, very boring. Ba, 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 da, 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 da. Button versus a small blind jam. I think it's a call. But I think it's one of the worst hands we call. I could be wrong. You don't open 17 blinds under the gun. Well, a GTO does, so we're trying to teach GTO here. GTO opens 7s under the gun for 17 blinds. My intuition said call. I probably thought queen 10 suited, honestly. But at least lots of low pairs do this. Lots of offsuit ace X that we have 40% against. I'm gonna call. Nice. I was right. Now I'm interested in... Okay, I was too slow. How wide we can call? Was that somebody said something about beers? I'm gonna have a beer later because I wanna treat myself on the fact that I went live again today and I did a bike ride today from 12 kilometers, which in the sun was pretty well. It was nice, but I'm just proud that I did it. I don't want to install the app. I'm zoomed in for my streamer viewers. So we did call. What was I wondering about? Oh yeah, how about we call here? So yeah, I said call with queen jack suited. We just call every suited Broadway here. And start folding the offsuit Broadway. It makes a lot of sense. And we call until 6s. Makes sense. Let's go back. Let's go back. Let's get this window out of the way. New spot. Under the gun, king jack offsuit versus a button 3-bet. I think we fold this. Don't judge people, I with beer. We fold 100%. Yeah, I'm liking the study. I think you guys are liking it too. I think we'll do one more spot after this one. So let me know if you have a preference for a specific spot. Like maybe some ICM situations or something. Could be fun. Yeah, I can. Of course I can, you tante. But in this... it randomizes already, right? We just had 17 blind spots, and this is 60 blind. So in this specific drill, it's randomized. But you can make it all customized. Whatever you want, you know, whatever you want to drill. I can show you when we can create one if you wanna see. I think we call with lines. Don't really want to jam for 60. Seems a bit too strong to fold. 87% call. Yeah, we check back. This is just a board where we can't do much. Wow, he bets 10%. Wow. I was ready to just give up on this hand on this board, but I feel with 9s against 10 to 1, you might have King Jack or King 10, right? And that makes I would fold all my nothings. But a pair for 10 to 1, 8%, you know, we gotta call. 43%. Wow, does that mean we raise sometimes? The river is an easy fold. Turn. Oh no, we fold sometimes. Wow. I was already not happy with it, but apparently we fold and call mixed there against the 10% bet. That's how bad this board is for us, that he can't even continue with a pair against 10%. Carp says raise preflop, 1 caller, c-bet call, you have nothing and check, opponent bets. Okay, can you save that? Can you copy paste that in a bit if you make a new drill? Because it's a little bit too complicated to remember. Copy paste it and then I'll do it later. We fold this. We just went over a spot similar to this. Well, there was a small blind bet 3-betting us, but I think we fold this, Queen Jack off. For 17 blinds. Usually suited connectors and suited broadways for sure call against 3-bets. We could have some jams here, but I'm mostly calling. Alright. I think we need a bit more than a runner jack high flush draw. We don't have a good shot. Quarter pot is fun, but I think we just fold. Good evening, Giorgio! Welcome to my Tuesday night study stream. I'm having a lot of fun with it. A little bit more fun than I expected, to be honest. That's good news. Maybe that's good. Maybe that just means we can stream whatever we want. It will always be fun. I think I'll fold this. Oh, 40% only. So we do call 60% of the time. Interesting. So Jack 10 suited on this board is good enough to continue a bit of the time. And I noticed the heart, but I thought it was just a little meh. Alright, interesting. Ace Queen versus the button jam, we call. We fold Ace 3 suited for 25. I think it's so funny that it shows what he actually had in this case. It's so useless though, it's so useless information. It's all about ranges, but then they show a hand specifically what they had in this case. This is... No, it's not that interesting. It's just our worst ace here, so we just fold this. This is such a strong play as well, right? Against under the gun. Make it 5 blinds, under the gun +1. With so many people to act. This is basically never a bluff. Even in GTO land, right? We talked about this earlier, but... Like 10% bluffs maybe, like the King 9 suited or whatever. But yeah, we always fold this. And against population, it's even easier, right? We talked about the specific spot earlier. If my opponent does this on my table, I might fold 8s and 9s, you know? Not happily, but... Because it's so strong. Couple more in this trainer and then we'll switch it up. Sevens, I think we're deep enough to call. Not in love with it, but yep. A great flop to check fold. Give me something. Give me a spade in my hand, whatever. It's never a race. I'm sorry, messenger. King Jack suited is an easy call. 87%. So if this ace, if the ace was of hearts and if it was the ace of hearts and not the 8 of hearts, they're gonna royal. I think it's a hand we continue against a small sizing. But I'm not so sure we do this against this specific board. This is a slightly small bet though. But it makes a lot of difference, right? If it's the ace of hearts or the 8 of hearts. Our flush will be much better if we make it against on the ace high. So I think we fold this. But earlier I made the mistake with the 10 jack suited, which was also a call here. So I can see this being a call as well. I would not be happy calling here, but I can see GTO calling here. What do you guys think? Last hand before we switch it up. Do you call here or fold, chat? Or if nobody cares, I'm folding. $99 fold, okay. Cool, awesome. I was trying to stop the drill. I want to see how we did. Okay, this is basically how we did. 87% score. This is close to what my imported hands look like as well. So this is basically my level. 87, 89. That was fun. We're gonna do one more drill. Do we do a quick break first? Yeah, I can show you how the importing of hands works first, maybe. Maybe that's fun. So if you want to import your hands, you go to upload. Which I'm trying to click on. Yeah, this is my, I have 30,000 hands uploaded in GTOWizard. And I made 89% correct plays. And I'm a break-even player at MTTs. 116,000 correct plays, 14,000 wrong plays. Well, if you look at a deck, that's a lot. It's a lot of plays. And these are the tournaments I imported. You can click you can click on it and see how you did. This example of $5 turbo, we made 4 mistakes. You can check them all. Where's my check these hands button? This works great in this interface, but and then you go. We show this other part where the hands are. And then what I often do when I study, I filter for last week or something. I filter for this year or whatever I want to look at. And then we sort by EV mistakes. No, I don't. I often don't do that, Tante. I often don't do that. You can do that. You can click on the tournament and just go over all the hands of that specific tournament. But I usually just go by session and just import all my hands of all the tournaments of all of that session. Then I go to this view. Then I sort by EV loss. And then I look at my biggest mistakes. Then I look at those. Because otherwise it's too much work to go over all this, everything. So this is the biggest mistake I made last week, apparently. You guys can watch with me what I did. You guys can watch with me what I did wrong here. So I have 6s. And I raised. Yes, okay. Where's my play button? I'm trying to zoom out. There it is. There you go. So I did raise, so the mistake was not here. I opened 6s on the hijack, alright. It's a bit laggy, the client, but that's okay. And then the big blind jams for 22, and I folded. Maybe against population it's fine, you know. This is again GTO versus exploit. But it's apparently a pretty big GTO mistake. Because we can make 1.8 blinds on average if we call here. But I thought it was a bit big. And I decided to let go of the 6s. And then, yeah, do we learn something from this or not? That's the tough question. We can dive into this with Equilab and change ranges and see how wide the big blind has to go before we have to call with 6s here. Yeah, this is from Sunday too, Yatante, by the way. This is the biggest mistake of the... This is Sunday included as well. Do you know that session where I played 21 tournaments and I cashed only one of them? These are those hands. This is from that Sunday session. And a couple other days probably, but mostly of the Sunday session. And my second biggest mistake... The last hand will go over and then it's a quick marble race chat. So we are the big blinds. Oh, I folded here. I'm not sure why. This could be a timeout situation. Even though I would not be in love with anything here. Because the 4.5 blinds is so weird. Such a big open. Obviously, I would always defend suited aces here against the normal open. I might even jam sometimes. But maybe this was a timeout situation. I was streaming, so maybe I was just, you know... Maybe I just timed out and couldn't decide or something. I don't know. But the decision is to call here, but I folded. It happens a lot that in the biggest mistakes of the day, that it's timeouts when I've streamed. Maybe I should stop streaming, chat. It's minus EV for me. Okay, so I need a bit of a break. We're gonna do one more. So we have some c-bet spots here, basically, Carbs. This is the closest I could get to your situation. So let's assume we c-bet. And this is sort of, you know, this is sort of what you said, right? Oh, what is happening? I pressed a shortcut by accident. I c-bet the turn by accident as a shortcut. Oh, what a mess! What a messy stream, chat. I'm sorry. So now we arrive at the river here. This is an interesting situation, though. We have c-bet twice. Do we bet again on the river? Do we bluff all in here? With our Jack 10, we have nothing. What do you guys think? Against the big blind, who probably has enough spades. I mean, I find it always hard to decide who has the better amount of spades. It is ship it. It is ship it 100%. That's interesting. So we can look at. So we can look at the situation for a little bit. And you can do so much in GTOWizard. So now you can also try to analyze why we apparently can bluff there. And so this is the river. This is our strategy. We bluff a lot here. We go all in 60% of the time here. on the river with our Jack 10, with our range. And of course, there's all kinds of spades in there, but also when we don't have them, we also do it. In reality, they always have the nuts, yeah. So yeah, I mean, we could dive into it in more detail, but that gets a bit advanced and a bit boring maybe. But the general idea is here, we can bet a lot of the time all in here. So that's why this combination also makes it into that range, you know. Second spot. We have King Queen, and we are against the big blind again. I guess we just see bet small here. I'm sorry we have something though. We have something again. And oh, we are caller. We are caller preflop now. Apparently we are the caller. I think I call here as well. I don't mind slow playing this trips here. Alright. Makes sense. And if they check, I want to kind of build a pot here. He's going to call with lots of his pairs. Lots of his single spades. If he has jacks with a spade, he's going to call. Yeah, I think we bet 5. The pot will become 20. We can jam 15 on the river. I think I bet 5 here. Half pot. Apparently we go different size. And now we have an easy jam on the river. But the interesting spot is the sizing on the turn. So, oh, we check back a lot. Oh, wow. My sizing was not the problem. 5 or 7 are both fine. Sizing was not the issue. We check a lot here. Wow. So we keep checking on this 3 of spades. That surprises me. To be fair, I don't think it's a bad play to value bet this in game. Like, how are you gonna get exploited by value betting your trips here on the turn, you know? Against regular opponents. Not gonna happen. But GTO slow plays that again. You also lose a bit less against Ace King, but I don't think that's the idea. I think the idea is just slow playing against weaker hands instead of saving money against better hands. Another spot against the big blind. So we can see bet. 3-3-7 though. This is not super great for us. We might have some checks here. That being said, I probably bet this 10 high. Because we still have lots of fold equity from better hands. And we have a runner straight draw too. But I think I bet small here with this. But I think I have some checkbacks too. It's wrong. Yeah, we can't really call. Oh, yeah, it's not GTO anymore, so he doesn't know. Oh, check or smaller than what I did. Oh, wow. So, of course, checking is reasonable, right? I also said checking might be fine. But if we bet, it's even 20% only. 20% only. Yeah, I mean, if he has like King 5, you know, he's just going to fold, right? If he has Queen 6, he's going to fold. So against all these random trashy hands from the big blind, you don't have to go big. And this is also why we often bet small against the big blind. Because you can make him easily fold his trash for a cheap price. Like that's the basic reason here why we can bet so small. To be fair, betting 1.8 is also small, right? It's not super big mistake. We can go smaller. We can go 20%. We open Jack 10 on the button versus the big blind. It's a good board for me, right? It's a good board for the button. The big blind will check raise all his kings. It will raise pre with all his kings, queens, and jacks. So we have nut advantage here for sure. But I might check this back. I mean, I would see bet a lot here, but I can see this specific hand being a check. I'm too nitty. We do call, of course. Pair and a straight draw. Now this is interesting. Chat. 21% we need only here. Calling 4 into 16. He bets quarter pot. We have only the jack. But we unblock spades. We block ace-10 for the straight. So I think we beat enough bluffs here with this specific hand. His spades, his under pairs maybe. Maybe some ace high that blocks the straight 2 from his side. It turns into a bluff. I think I call this in GTO land, chat. What do you guys think? Just a jack, but... This is again a spot where I probably fold in-game, but we call in GTO land. All in. I'm not so sure. This hand... We have too much showdown to turn this into a bluff, je tante. We have too much showdown value to turn this into a bluff. And also, a queen never folds, and a king probably also doesn't fold. Maybe a king folds, but... I'd rather go all in here with ace-8 of hearts or something, right? Or ace-8 of diamonds, basically. Like... Yeah, we have range advantage, but... What does that do for us? If our specific hand also has some showdown value already. If we decide against calling or going all in here, I think this hand is too strong to turn into a bluff. I'm wrong. I've been wrong before. We also go all in here. Wow. I bow to your tante. Apparently we do turn it into a bluff. And make him fold a king. Not king queen though. That's not gonna fold, but yeah, 82% of the time. So yeah, we do block some stuff. I don't know. In game I probably think my hand is too strong to turn it into a bluff, but that's wrong. That's wrong thinking, I guess. Okay, my brain is getting a little fried of all this, but we can do one more. Some ICM stuff. No, this is not ICM. This was my attempt to make Mr. Carbs happy. This was the closest I could get to his complicated spot. But I don't mind some ICM stuff. Let's go to some GTOWizard drills. There's some ICM stuff here, right? ICM final table? Or ICM bubble? What do we want? We're gonna end the study stream. The study part of the stream with some ICM stuff. Do you guys prefer final table or bubble? ICM PKO bubble, very tough. Very tough, I think. So that's cool. Let's fuck this up. Sorry, Brazilian, I already clicked. It was first come, first serve. So this takes a bit more of analyzing before we decide here. So we see the bounties on everybody's head. And it's... Oh, this is final table. This is... Oh, I timed out! I didn't know there was a timer involved. In the drills I did before, there was no timer running. Oh my god! We opened this. Yeah, we are the big stack. We are the big stack, so we open a bit wider. It's not even that wide on the low jack, yeah, so that's good. That's good. I understand that. I panicked. There's time pressure here. No, because we don't jam this. If the button is... If I cover the button, maybe we jam this. Oh, we do jam it. Wow. I didn't think it was a fold. So I was amazed that fold call was wrong. But we jammed this. So it helps that the big blind has a nice bounty we cover. But yeah, we have some fold equity against the button. I guess it's... everybody's close in chips, though. I'm surprised we take that risk against the button, considering ICM. But ICM is not as big in PKOs, right? So that makes it a bit less of an issue, apparently. Yeah, pretty sick jam. Without ICM, I could understand it, though. But then it's also white, right? We are the chip leader. No, we're not the chip leader. The small blind is the chip leader. We definitely still open this, though. Oh, there's somebody before us. I think we fold. I think the suited collector doesn't really play well enough. Yeah, nice. We fold this right. Yeah, no reason to go very wide here. Welcome to the stream, Zombie. I'm on a time constraint here, so I'm not sure I can answer your question. 2-2 blind versus 1-2. Well, this is all MTT ranges anyway. I think you're referring to a cash game that is a 2-2 blind structure. Obviously, that changes stuff because the small blind can just check, right? If they fall to them. I think it also changes things for other positions, but yeah, we are short stack, 4 blinds, we are committed. Yeah. Final 3 persons there. Final 3. Queens, I guess we'll open. Does his hand get interesting? Yeah, we're playing against the big blind. Thank you for the follow, Zombie D. I appreciate it. Oh, we only do preflop, so that's why it skipped ahead. Queen 8 suited is a call without ICM. And we do cover him. So I can see this being a call, but I'm folding. Okay. You can go a tad wider if you cover people. And Queen 8 suited is a call, I think. So it was close. King 8 offsuit. I'm not going to jam this. King 10 offsuit probably, though. That's correct. So it's a combination of last 2 tables and final table. It shows here a little bit hard to read maybe, but it shows in the middle. This is a final table again. Against the low jack open, we're gonna fold the 3s. That's correct. The button we can probably call this. Even though I'm not super happy with the read jam stack of the big blind, but 38%, okay. It's not a blunder anyway. So what's the most preferred play? Oh, we're too late. We have to hurry, chat. This is this drill is tough. I always struggle with suited aces in these kind of spots, but I think it's just a fold. What are we gonna do, you know? Yeah, okay. It was a pure fold in this case. This is 92% only. I'm surprised that we sometimes do something here, yeah. It's the bluff, yeah. King 6 suited is a bluff sometimes. Sorry, Chitanta. I'm gonna be all in quick, okay? I'm gonna try to be all in quick. Against the limp, we have similar stacks. We certainly raise. It's only pre-flop, so we move on. Final 3 tables. King Queen versus under the gun. Button we continue for sure. We are short though. We could also jam. This is a little annoying. Maybe our fold. Yeah, this is a complicated stuff, Melle. We also did some very easy stuff earlier, so. And there's also a time constraint on this one, so it's a little harder to get feedback from chat and use that. I've also been doing this for almost 3 hours, so maybe I'm almost done. My brain is fried. I've been up since 10 a.m. as well. For me, that's also very early. 15 blinds. We are the short stack, final table. But still, this spot. Meh. Oh, we sometimes jam. We sometimes jam. No, we min raise. Okay. Good luck, Appelskin Donk. Yeah, we're not doing too bad on this, though. We're not doing too bad on this complicated spot so far. We gotta defend this, even though I hate it. $20 in a row we have correct? Huh? I can't believe it. Yeah. Nope. I considered folding. Probably just a fold, right? Yep. I considered it. Final 4 players. All deep stacked. Should be an open in the cutoff, especially if you cover everybody. Yep. My streak is gone, yet. I had 20 in a row correct, then I blundered. Yeah, I think so, Mella. I got the premium. I got the premium because I'm an affiliate. I think you need full functionality for that, yes. Oh! I blundered again. It was too wide. That's a fine open, fine fold. I'm not 100% sure though, Meta. I'm sorry. They also change these things once in a while, so just try it. I haven't used the fact that there are bounties in play a lot. It's just because I have to decide so quickly. I quickly glance, but often the bounties are very similar in size. So these sims all come from very small fields, and then on the final table, the bounties are not that different in size, right? If you play a 2,000 people tournament, there's way different bounty sizes, and we never really see that. So that would make it a little bit more interesting if there were big field final tables with very different bounty sizes. I'm on a 7th streak again. Ace 4 is a fold. Huh? We raise 94% of the time? With Ace 4 offsuit in the small blind versus low jack? Yeah, I'm just ignoring ICM pressure here, and I shouldn't. We are way the big stack here. So that's why we can bluff way more often. Which is something I understand, but I was just trying to click fast because of the time. So yeah, we covered everybody here by a big margin. So that's why we can also have some more 3-bet bluffs. But I didn't expect it with Ace 4 offsuit. That's very rare to see it choose an offsuit ace like that. Good evening, Stunt Pilot. We are in the final part of the study part of the stream because I can't handle it anymore. And then we will ask chat what we want to do. $11 blinds seems like an easy fold. Yeah, we did some GTOWizard, some ranges we built earlier, some easy pre-flop spots, some tough post-flop spots. Queen 10 is a fold. 2.5 hours of anything is a long time, Donk. 2 hours of anything is a long time. Okay, I'm done, chat. 77% on my ICM PKO final table drill. Couple of missed opportunities to exploit the fact we were the big stack. But not too bad, not too bad. One blunder, 2 wrong moves. What was the blunder? We should always review, right? What was the blunder? Let's only check the blunder. It was very in the beginning. Oh, here it is. It scrolls a bit slow. Oh, the sevens. What happened there? Oh, I timed out. This is about the only blunder was the timeout. This is when I realized that there was a timer involved. I would not fold sevens for one blind more. My only blunder was a timeout. Okay. Hey, thanks everybody for watching the study part of this stream.